Shit, I need one of those. Fuck, come on, dude.
Boom. Ready or not, here we come. Got a new intro today. Stayed up way too late making this thing, so I hope everybody's good.
Welcome to For Music Lovers Only, a podcast where each host makes a top 5 list of their favorite songs from this week's topic. Each week is a new topic. Tune in, I dare you. Music Lovers Only.
Bam! What is up, everybody? How you doing? I'm Forrest Gump today. How you doing?
You nailing it.
Forrest good.
Yes, I'm Josh, JRB5. Got tone, diction. I had to think about it. I was reading it in my head. I was like, I don't want to fuck this up. I'm always horrible with names. I'll mess everything up. Darren's joining us in studio. We got Danny Disaster over there. We got Bryce down there. And we got Coach Casey over here.
Hi, guys.
Alex probably will be in a few minutes late, is what he said. And then just Alex, she'll join us on our break. Pop in and give her a list, so we'll kind of just stop what we're doing. But yeah,
just stop for her. Why don't we? Fuck.
I know. We gotta keep her happy.
She does look like she could beat somebody up, so that would probably be a good idea to keep her happy.
Yeah, definitely. We got top 5 list today. We got songs that cut deep, make it bleed. And as we were talking just a minute ago, we're kind of keeping that a little vague, just however you interpret it. I tried to take a different spin on it, just because that's what I do. You know, I try to be a pain in the ass. It usually works.
No, that is a pain in the ass because, like, yet again, that's so open for interpretation. So,
see, you got to watch what you say about her, Bryce, because she's listening.
Shit.
She's listening.
I know.
Isn't
She's constantly everywhere I look. I can't go on TikTok without seeing her shit everywhere.
We got Mr. Alex down there. How long you been down there, Alex?
For like 2 minutes.
Okay, I can't
Just sitting here like let me in here.
I had to scroll down to see it. We got a lot of people today.
Yeah.
Alex, what's the not a comic? You're a comedian, right?
Yeah.
Comedian. There's a difference. Apparently, we still haven't crossed that. I think that's going to be a whole show. The difference between a comedian and
I'd like to be tuned in for that one.
I would too.
Would
the
difference essentially be someone comparatively who writes as the one who performs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So are you saying?
I know things.
It's kind of like an artist thing.
Oh, I said I've tried to be a comedian and a comic, but I fail at both of them most of the time. So.
Yeah, I'm just a jackass.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I never said I was successful.
I'm on that boat.
I'm a magician, so basically anything I do on stage is fucking awkward and anybody's gonna laugh at me, so no matter what. This is a 40-year-old who actually made this a hobby.
Adam Sandler, no, they're all gonna laugh at you.
No, they are. Sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not.
So did you get your list done, Alex? Or are you working on it now?
I got mine. I've got enough I can kind of wing it. I've got about 4, so we're good to go.
All right, we'll give just Alex a minute to see what's going on, see when she's gonna come on. I had a question in my head and I just drew a blank. Ooh. Okay.
Where do babies come from?
I feel like you live in a blank.
Yeah. The question of the day, we kind of ask a question, do a little fluffer in the beginning, to give a little time for everybody to stop what they're doing. Okay. But what is the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you?
Shit.
Can I start?
Go first, Coach Casey.
Well, since it's Riverfest time right now, my story dates back to about an 11-year-old at Riverfest that had a diarrhea accident and then had to work his way through a crowd, and I'm there with a girl, and you don't know, that was my first learning of never trust a fart.
Yeah.
11 years old.
And then having to change. I mean, I knew probably before that, but I don't know what it was. We had eaten that junk food all day and all that. And then I'm like walking way backwards from her, like, no, everything's cool, man. No, I just got to go to the bathroom. And then ditched her, called my parents, like, somebody's got to come get me. So,
oh, God.
To this day, that's the most awkward and most embarrassed I've ever been, mainly because there was 10,000 people around when it happened,
Yeah.
I walked in public today, and I still think people remember me from that.
Those old penny shit pants.
Oh, man.
And I'm just lying. That was last weekend. That's just how
days ago at Riverfest.
Damn.
I think everybody has an embarrassing Riverfest story, though.
Oh, man.
Mine was hanging out with juggalos, just that in general. So that's embarrassing enough.
Oh, damn. Well, now I have ideas.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't been embarrassed a lot. And then you said juggalos. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you forget those fuckers exist sometimes.
I mean, they're down. They're down, though.
Mhm.
Somebody, they got your back.
That had to be my most awkward concert ever going to, was an Insane Clown Posse concert.
I got sprayed with Fago in the back row, and I was there for head PE. As soon as that Fago hit me, I left. I'm good. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. You know what's funny is that I've seen Guar like 7 times, and they spray all that shit on you, right? That is the nicest I've ever seen a band do that to, because that shit's like water. It's just colored water. It's got a little bit of sugar in it. It's not sticky. Makes your hair nice and fluffy and shit. And I was like, they were actually thinking about people when this was going on, dude.
Water's fine. All fine, well, and good. When you start throwing cream soda at me, I'm sorry, I got to go. I need a shower.
That's the fucked up part. It's not even cream soda. It's the whole goddamn bottle.
Yeah, and I'm in the back row trying to get away from it, like make sure I don't get hit. I still get hit. I gotta go. Gotta go.
Dude, I went to one ICP concert. I saw people get laid out with fucking 2 liters because that shit. Apparently they don't do it that way anymore.
What, they
But
shake it up and turn it backward and just let it fly?
yeah, and just drop right down in the middle of the cotillion. You see some 4-year-old kid in clown paint just hit the ground.
Yeah, they shake it up and then they throw it down on the lid part, and it just shoots off like a rocket. And
damn, you sound like you've been through a few.
I've been to one, and that was the last. That was the first and last time.
It's traumatizing.
Hey, I mean, no offense to them, they got mad love.
I'm pretty sure that they're a second wing of the Illuminati by this point. Like those guys control fucking everything now.
I don't know.
Let's see. Most embarrassing moments, man. This is kind of a long story, so I'll shorten it up. I had gone to the Boulevard Brewery with people I work with and got hammered. I mean, beyond drunk. And I get home. None of us were driving. We had our work chartered a van for us all to drive, or all to ride in. I get home and my buddy comes over, just excited as all hell. And he's like, "Dude," and he hands me this big bag of mushrooms. And he's like, "We're gonna eat these and go on snakes on a plane." And for some reason, that sounded like the greatest idea in the world.
Sounds awful.
So get to the theater, and I have to pee. And right as I have to pee, they kick in. So I'm in
having a snake in your hands is scary.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm in the bathroom. The bathroom's all white, but it's got red, yellow, and blue tiles in the wall, and those are just shooting out past me. So I'm freaking the fuck out. I think the people that work at the theater know that I'm messed up. So I start panicking, and I get up. So I was like, fuck, zip up my pants, and I go and I run into the first theater, and it was Barnyard, the animated like the cartoon. And then I'm sitting up there, it's stadium seating, so I go up to the top and I'm just sitting there hiding in a packed theater full of parents and their kids. The worst place you could possibly want to go. And then I realized, oh, I forgot to pee.
Damn.
And so I jump up because I didn't want to piss myself. And I was at the very top of the stadium seating, so I start rolling down the stairs, puking the entire way down, all over these families.
Oh, man.
And then I get up and I look down. There's not a stitch of puke on me. Like all these people are looking at me fucking pissed. So I bolt out the emergency exit door, set the alarm off. They have to clear out the theater, and I run as fast as I can. And I see there's this little pond, and I jump in the pond, and I just sat there for about an hour, like with my eyes above the water.
Rambo.
This is embarrassing.
Oh, it was embarrassing because my buddy, then I get like they had to evacuate the whole theater because the fire alarm went off. And I'm just sitting there watching these. They're like, we saw him. Where the fuck did he go? And I'm like, oh God, no, please don't catch me. I cannot go to jail. I cannot explain to my parents this. I can't explain this story to my parents. Please, nobody find me.
I could not imagine going to jail fucking high on mushrooms. That would be
God, it would have been so terrible.
What a buzzkill.
And I was just like sitting there like I just felt like the most embarrassing part is I feel like, man, I ruined somebody's Friday night. People came out to take
Friday nights.
These people came out and brought their kids to this nice wholesome movie, and then some moron just threw up all over. I mean, and it was mushroom puke, so it was gonna be gross.
it probably reeked.
Oh, and so I get out of the pond after everybody goes in, and I just go sit by my buddy's car and wait. And he sat there for the whole movie. So I'm sitting out there for like an hour, and he comes out, and I'm completely soaked. He's like, I knew it had to be you. Get in the car. They're still looking for you. I was like, all right.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a pretty embarrassing moment, but.
It took me a minute to think of mine.
Yeah, I thought of mine.
I finally just got mine. It's a little shorter than yours, but it's a little kind of long. We got a music producer that does all our beats, and he came to town. Yeah, right. He came to town too. We only got a couple local bars in our small town. He came in and I'm hitting on the bartender who's sitting with me, and he comes up after I walk away to go to the bathroom, and he tells her something like, what was it? You look dead inside.
Something about smile, you look dead inside.
Smile, you look dead inside. So, yeah. So, anyways, I spent the rest of the evening, talking to her because she's crying and this and that. And a week later, he comes in again, and I kind of have to explain how he happens to be my friend of like 15 years, and the whole time I knew that it was him.
No.
So all the while, I'm over here thinking I'm smooth and shit. No. Friends will definitely ruin stuff for you.
The best ones.
How do you tell somebody that?
Danny, do you got a most embarrassing story?
Well, aside from the fact that I've had 4 kids, I mean, if you've ever been present at the birth of a child, there's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing that you don't see. And there's like 10 people in the room. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But probably one of my most embarrassing, and I don't even know if anybody else saw it, but I was so fucking embarrassed. I used to do all of the photography for James's band back in the day, and I would, climb up all over the stage and get there, and drummers and all of that. And one time I was backing up to take a picture and went to dodge a headstock and just like fell off of the fucking stage.
Oh God!
I was actually there that night.
Were you? Scraped up my elbow, scraped up my knee, and then just like jumped up and like looked around and was like, "Oh fuck it, the show's still going on. Still got to take pictures." Climbed back up on stage and kept going. But totally fell off the fucking stage.
No, I didn't see it, but you told me about it later on in the night.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. I guess I'll go. As anybody who's ever met me before, like the age of 30, I was an asshole in my 20s. I spent a lot of time at a strip club, specifically Jezebel's. Right?
Nickelback.
Yeah.
I was a pleasure guy. I get it.
Right. So, me and my buddies are there, and we're getting fucked up. We got everything on us. I had all sorts of cocaine in my system. We were drunk as shit. We went to a nice restaurant. I had a big old bowl of fucking chili at the restaurant, right? Get the Jezebels. We're in there for about an hour, and I hit the bathroom. And I stay in that shitter for 3.5 hours, just like losing my guts. At some point in time, the guy who's with me comes into the bathroom, and he just stands next to the stall door waiting for anybody walking in and through the bathroom, just so he can look at him and say, knock on the door, and be like, who the fuck shits in a strip club? So I'm just like, all right, whatever, this is cool, right? So at some point, and again, I'm in there for 3 fucking hours. So some of the girls start coming in and asking me, like, dude, are you okay? And I'm just like, so I get done finally, and I open the door, and it's like everybody in the whole fucking club is just like, good job, buddy!
Getting a round of applause at a strip club.
Dude, like, no one ever took a poop there before in their life, but I guess I was the very first one, and just like, yeah, that was the best attention I ever had in my life. They're like, good job, you wiped your own ass.
I don't think I've ever
doing tricks. Started doing magic tricks.
Dude, I should have. I never have done a magic trick for a stripper. I really wish. Actually, you know what?
Well, you have.
We're going to do that one day, Josh. We're going to make one of your podcasts in pleasures while I just sit there and do stupid card trips while they shake their ass at me.
All right, mine is from when I was a kid. Okay, I'd watched. Anybody familiar with the movie Species?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay, just came out. The first one just came out. So I was working at Dillon's. I rented it on my way home. Watched it. Went to bed and had the most vivid, wild dream. You know, I mean, I don't know if anybody remembers, but the scene she's making love, and then she goes and starts ripping her. Well, I'm dreaming that she's making love to me, and I'm like, yeah. And then she obviously, and so I just, from this cold, and like I said, I am 17, 18 at this point, running up the stairs, screaming like a little girl. My dad and my mom come bolting out of their beds. My mom, I think it was my mom. I can't remember if it was my mom or dad. Somebody breaks their fucking toe getting out of bed. Dad's in his underwear, got his bat, running through the house. Like, what's going on? Thinking someone's breaking up. And I, you know, when all that's happening, I realize what I'm doing. I'm like, this was a fucking dream, you know. What the fuck? I just turn around, walk down, go back to bed, and try to go to sleep. But they're up, and mom's like, what's going on? Trying to figure out. And then she finally realizes that it was a dream, and she just starts laughing. I think she spent the next. I mean, she didn't go back to bed. She just sat there laughing at me. I mean, just laughing, not at me, just at the situation. And I'm like, okay, can we just go to bed, Mom? Anytime we talk about that story, to this day, she just gets in a laughing fit.
That's fucking good. I like that.
So, needless to say, I have not watched the rest of them.
You got to that point, you're like, I don't know how it fucking ends.
I've never revisited the first one again.
Kind of turned you off of the whole genre.
Yeah, I don't even like her anymore.
Quite
What, Natalie?
She was only in the like
Alex, what
2
is
or
up,
3 movies.
beautiful?
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm at work, so you know, fucking fantastic.
Yeah, we're just wrapping up our embarrassing stories. I think so for mine.
We went through this last weekend. I can't be embarrassed.
Did we go through it last weekend?
Really?
What's something that you've done that would have embarrassed
Hey,
a
look,
normal
it's my
person?
fiance.
Alex,
I know. I have my fiance and my boyfriend on this. It's amazing.
Alex, I will give you free tickets to like every single one of my shows just to prove that I can't embarrass you.
Done.
Fair enough?
Yeah. Let's
Nope.
do it.
You know, it's pretty. I've got an embarrassing moment for her giggling on the floor, on my living room floor.
That wasn't embarrassing.
Wrapped in a Raiders blanket when she's a Cowboys fan. That's pretty funny. I thought it was. She should be embarrassed about that.
That was really fucked up. Okay.
I seen you getting the kids new clothes.
Yeah.
No. Once you get a round of applause by strippers and cocaine addicts after taking a shit after 3 hours, I mean, there's not much that phases you afterwards.
And shout out to Mushrooms and Riverfest.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn.
Don't trust
I'm
the
gonna
fart.
do that.
Hashtag don't trust the fart.
I really don't want to. I'm gonna go rewatch fucking Guardians now on mushrooms just to see what happens.
All right, I know Alex has got limited time. Just Alex,
All right.
the amazing Just Alex. You need to add. You need to put an amazing in front of it.
Oh, okay. Well, now that I know that I can't.
Just amazing. I don't know. We'll have to work on that. We'll have to work on that. What? You got your list correct?
Yes, I do.
How hard was it?
How hard was it? I have a playlist on Spotify of these songs, dude. It's like, hey, do you want to be sad today? Here's a playlist for you. Yeah, I was hella prepared.
Take it away then.
Okay. Now I got to cut it down because I've got like 10 things on here. So.
We all do. We're gonna see which one who steals whose songs.
It was really hard for me to actually cut them down.
Yeah, this is difficult. I was like, I'm just gonna write them all down and then I'll figure it out as I'm going.
But I am totally stealing everybody else's as they go. So.
See, that's
got a
why I
wheel
like
now,
that
Bryce,
I only
so
jump in here for
we're doing it
15 minutes
diplomatically.
because no one can really steal anything from me anymore.
No, I didn't mean steal them. I mean like listen to them later.
Oh, listen.
Oh,
to
yeah.
them?
Yeah, not like steal them and be like, oh, I'm going to use this for mine too. Yeah, that was a good idea. No.
James
No,
is really bad about doing that. So
No, so I can actually. Yeah, no, I remember. No, it was actually so I can like, because I enjoy hearing everybody else's perspective on music.
okay, so let's see here. I guess number 5, I'm gonna do 1 Million Watts by Norma Jean.
Oh, I know that one actually. That's a really good song.
It is. Phantom Bride by Deftones. Because if it's Deftones or John Prine, I'm gonna throw it in if I can. December by 100 Suns.
I don't know.
I don't know that one, but I'll write it down and check it out.
It's a good one.
So
And let's see. I got 2 more. I'm trying to figure out which ones I want to use. I guess for number 2, I'm gonna do "Fly" by Highly Suspect.
Oh yeah.
good one actually.
That one actually helped pull me out of my addiction. So that's why I love that song. And then number 1, I'm gonna do "Another Man's Grave" by Amigo the Devil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually just not recently, but when he came here with Dropkick Murphy, the first time I ever saw him, and that really blew my mind. Love that show.
I have been trying to see Amigo for like 3 years now, and something always happens and it pisses me off.
That was the most expensive concert ticket I've ever bought in my life.
How much was it?
I paid $172 for it.
For
Bro, I paid
Dropkick
$200.
Murphys?
Yeah, because what happened is that I got one of the reset tickets. Someone took it back, sent it back, so they upsold it on the day of the fucking show.
Scalping.
That's just Matt Rife.
It technically scalping, but it was actually so what they did is because the Cotillions had on the extra shit because they consider it kind of like a penalty to you for buying it so later whatever. It was kind of
the convenience fee that's not convenient at all.
No, exactly.
Who is this
Absolutely.
convenient for?
Yeah, I know. It's like big
But it
deal.
was like, but I will say it was probably one of the best fucking concerts I ever saw.
Yeah, I saw them a few years ago in Colorado, and they opened for Rancid, and that was a fantastic show.
No. They put on like the whole idea of them bringing on like 100 people on stage afterwards. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amigo and the Devil was there, and like my friend Matt McBee was there, and he was just like gushing over them the whole time. So I actually had to pay attention to it because I don't pay attention to fucking openings. And it ended up being brilliant. I love that.
All right.
So, anyways, that's my list.
Awkward silence.
Good list. Good
Good
music
list.
to listen to. I think I knew 2 of them.
I knew all but one.
I knew Highly Suspect and Deftones were going to have to be on there.
Of course.
Well, all right. Let's spin to see who goes next. Now, have you been preview to that one yet? There.
Yeah.
There's so many names on it. It's
yeah, there's a whole bunch.
I got a spinny wheel. I could have wrote the names on my spinny wheel.
Tone. You ready?
Cool.
I like that.
All right. So we shooting one or all of them?
Yeah, we'll shoot. I should have zoomed you in, but there we go. Oh. Hey.
We doing one at a time?
That moves people. I can't see whoever that. I don't know who was behind there. Oh well.
First off, I want to say fuck this guy for getting me in my feels all week.
All week.
Dude, that's some shit, right?
I could do that on my own.
But so first one I got "Save Myself" by Ed Sheeran. And I think all of these two, just going through them, I was like, they were yeses. They went on the list. If like I went through them and like absolutely couldn't, without tearing up, couldn't do it. So that's one of them for sure. Let's see. This one's kind of an underground one, but I feel like Josh might know this one too. And shout out to anyone else that does. But "Picket Fence" by Brother Ali.
Oh yeah.
And I want to look up one line in this real quick, because this is why. I got to explain it a little bit. Give it a little insight, because it's such a good song worth listening to.
I'm not picturing the song. I can't think of anything on the song, but I mean, I love Brother Ali.
Let's see here. Oh, yes, here it is. Okay. Let's see here.
"Sensitive" is my probably
Oh,
favorite.
the chorus where, yes, he says, goes through the whole story just telling about himself. And if you don't know Brother Ali, he's an albino rapper who super into activism and all sorts of super good dude, but very different. Yeah. You see him, you hear him, and then you see him, you'd never put two and two together. So he's got a hell of a backstory. Just but he said you look the way you do because you're special, not the short bus way. I mean that God's gonna test you, and all of this pain is training for the day when you will have to lead with the gift God gave to you. Grown folks don't see it, but the babies do. And there's a chance that you can save a few. And time will prove that. She started my movement. She didn't tell me to take it. She told me to use it.
Hell yeah.
And that right there is why that one's on the list. Let's see, that's two. And then one I just threw. As soon as you threw that, this one came too. But "Christmas Shoes." And I had to look it up to see who sings it. And I think it's a new song. But if you've heard "Christmas Shoes," like, oh, it's such a brutal one.
Is that the one about the kid's mom dying?
Yes, and he's getting shoes for the day before Christmas in case Mama meets Jesus tonight. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ,
I can't.
dude. That one's
Damn.
I absolutely can't.
I don't even want to think about that song now. I'm like, geez, that one's a tearjerker. You're like, God.
Yeah. And they play it at Christmas too. Like, you need that.
It's supposed to be the happiest time of the year. Let's like, we're gonna make you real fucking sad.
Like Timmy on the corner.
And then let's see, what was the other one here? I had "Save Me" by Jelly Roll. That's a really good one with just addiction and the mentality of like feeling like an entire lost cause and where that can get to. And absolutely, like I feel like most people have felt that, and there's a reason that song launched that man to the success he's getting right now.
I've been listening to him for years. I'm glad he's getting some love.
Absolutely. And then my last one I had was "Against My Better Judgment" by Mayday.
Yep.
Another addiction one. But yeah, definitely
it's a messed up video.
Tearjerker. Well, that one dropped too, and the reason it really gets me too, it dropped. It was right after I lost a good friend of mine to heroin addiction, and then that song dropped, and I just
Mayday just left Strange. I don't know if there's. I don't know the story.
A little bit ago,
but
everybody
they were just done with their contract.
Yeah.
We actually just brought them September 7th.
They're in one of the new song, or recognize his new song. There's like, it sounds like there's some animosity. I don't know if it's geared towards Strange or anything, but I'm like,
They said it was all love when we talked to them.
It sounded like it.
Okay, maybe that's somebody else.
Yeah.
All right, I have to get going. My break's over, and I got people trying to come in my office.
All right. Love you.
Love you, Alex.
Love you.
All right. So was that all of them, or you still have?
Yeah, I think that's it.
That was it. That was your
That's
5. Okay. Good 5. Good 5. Let's spin thing again. Danny.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
Sorry, I have an audience back here.
I was going to say Rowan just left the room. I think she got bored with us. So all we tried to do is talk
boring
about
old people, boring
Right.
podcast.
I also have like 10 songs on my list. There's like my top 5 and then like 5 honorable mentions. I'll try to cut it down. And these are in no particular order either. The first one that came to mind that I cannot listen to without getting in my feels, and I usually listen to when I'm depressed, is Descent by Fear Factory.
Yeah.
That's a good one there. I give you that.
I just, yeah. The second one, and we've talked about this song on the podcast before. I know James has mentioned it before, but it's "To Die For" by John 5. There's no words to that song, but I will stick it on repeat and listen to it all day long. Like, it's so good. One that I've been stuck on here lately is "You're Somebody Else" by Flora Cash. And I feel like everybody deals with relationships where people turn out to be somebody that they thought they were somebody that they weren't. And so that one hits pretty hard for me.
Yeah. I think that's pretty typical. All mine leave say I'm an asshole, but I mean, I don't know.
It's just a character trait.
Yeah, I guess.
No, that's just a state of being, bro.
Like say we're all characters when the Jim Carrey, you know, after he went all philosophicals, we're all characters, you know, we're all building this character.
I'm pretty sure we did a lot.
What are you playing
of
today?
ayahuasca.
Right, that's another like 2-hour-long podcast going over there.
Right.
The inner character.
Just detach yourself.
Forrest Gump.
That's when we all collectively take mushrooms and have that conversation.
Let's do it.
Now, calm down.
We're on the right road right here, huh?
This guy's got to come.
I got you.
There's no water around here to dip in, so
We'll go see a movie.
Fuck you! I'm not leaving my couch, man. I learned my lesson.
Yeah, right.
I've been there.
It's not a
That
public
shit's
event.
fucking terrifying.
Oh god.
I did that shit. The carpet in the movie theater started fucking moving. Yeah.
We went and see Mortal Kombat tripping with Josh Robinson one time.
And you walk by and you're just like, oh fuck.
Oh, I don't need that.
I shouldn't be tripping in here.
Someone died.
Shit.
You breaking stuff?
So you said you had 4 kids. Now you have 3.
Yeah.
Good shit.
No? Okay.
Oh.
So another one, and this I watch a lot of Disney movies.
Imagine that.
I have 4 kids, and I would watch them even if I didn't. So,
Oh.
In Frozen 2, the main song is "Show Yourself" by Idina Menzel.
I'm not
It's
looking that up.
Elsa's song, and I literally cannot watch that movie, cannot listen to that song without tearing up. Like I don't even understand why, but that song puts me so deep in my feels.
Well, I think that's the first Disney princess song that's made it onto the podcast.
Hold on.
I wrote it down and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get so much shit for this.
To be fair, Phil Collins puts me in my feels.
Dude. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she spends the entirety of 2 movies trying to figure out what her purpose is and where she belongs. And that is the moment where she realizes that she has always been everything that she needed to be, that she, you know, she is the answer to everything that she's been looking for. And it's just a really powerful moment.
Oh, yeah.
And it just makes me cry every time. And my 2-year-old is laughing hysterically on the other side of the room.
Oh, mom's a wuss. He gets it. I like it.
And then the last one that I put in my top 5, I've always loved the song, but the older I get, the more meaning it has for me. It's Landslide by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Old Stevie Nicks.
No, yeah.
I mean, can you? Does anybody? I'm pretty sure everybody has at least one Fleetwood Mac song that they're like, yeah, that's the shit.
Pretty sure I have multiple from my mom playing them when I was younger, but I don't know the names. It's just when it comes on, I'm like, this is that shit.
Yeah.
Just like
So-
Shania Twain.
That shit that our parents listened to on acid in the 70s.
That's on. All right, so let's. What was an honorable mention while I pull up the spinner?
So the first one that I wrote down is Acoustic Number 3 by Goo Goo Dolls.
Ooh.
And I don't even know where that song came from or like how I first heard it. But I don't think a lot of people have heard it, and it's a really good song.
Is it a B-side?
I don't remember much
Probably.
Goo Goo Dolls.
I mean, like, it doesn't even have an actual title. Its title is literally Acoustic Number 3.
Yeah. Some of those are the best. I swear.
Alex is changing his list now. Damn it,
No.
Goo Goo Dolls!
No, not at all.
Elsa, damn it!
Forgot about Fly. Fuck.
That's my favorite song.
He just scratched "Let It Go" off his list.
Oh, dang it.
Have y'all heard the metal version of "Let It Go"?
Oh, dude.
Yes.
I was sitting there on Spotify listening to it one day, and I'm just jamming to it, and then it gets to the chorus and "Let It Go." I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers! I was so pissed. I fucking turned that shit off.
You should be happy for metal instead of mad about the song. You know what I mean?
They got me. They got me.
Metal got you.
Yeah, it was good, but I was like, oh no, fuck you. I mean, at that point I was listening to it on the daily from the daughter. I mean, all I could remember was the chorus, but I don't know that.
I can feel that because I have like a small dislike for Metallica because of mandatory Metallica. I love T95, always have since I was a kid, but Metallica got shoved down my throat.
Yeah.
But I hear like an orchestral fucking version. I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. Oh damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I see literally the only way I can listen to Metallica.
It's not them doing it.
Yeah, not them.
Makes me
like
happy.
like Miley Cyrus versions of fucking Metallica are balls on bangers, but like if they joined her, I don't want to hear it.
Heard.
All right, Alex, you got your list
Yeah.
for the next round.
Okay. This one's technically not a okay. So some of them are kind of like I don't listen to a lot of stuff that really makes me sad. Because I have enough success doing it on my own. But I would say number 5 is definitely going to be let's see, I need to pull up my list here. Flogging Molly's "If I Ever Leave This World Alive."
Oh my god, yes.
Fucking song.
That's
Such a good song.
dude, I can't sing the song without like tears going down my face. It's like Jesus Christ, and it's such a great song. I try to see those guys every time they come to KC. It's just they're dope. I mean, it's just a fantastically written song. This one, number 4, it's not necessarily sad, and I'm not the most patriotic human being in the world, but it was recorded in Lawrence. The guy's from Essex, England. The artist is Beans on Toast, and
It's English.
yeah, and it was actually recorded at Black Lodge Studios in Eudora, Kansas, and the song is called "The Great American Novel." It's just this whole song's about this guy from England being in Reno, and
That was creepy.
just talking to some guy randomly at a blackjack table, and they're just kind of talking about his whole experience going throughout the United States, and it's really dope to see it from like another guy, from like a foreigner's perspective. It's kind of it really opens your eyes, kind of like to a lot of the stuff that we have going on here, but it talks about a lot of the really good shit that we have going on here, because I think that's kind of one of those things that we've lost over the past years. You don't like. It's like two different sides versus each other, but no one really like looks like gets into reality and kind of thinks about like what really is awesome about living in this country. But it's not like a patriotic like no fucking stars and stripes bullshit. Really good song though. Let's see. I may have used this one before, but I'm gonna use it again because it's one of my all-time favorite songs. But this one definitely gets me in the heart feels. Toaster in a Bathtub by Tony Sly. He's the guy that's over my shoulder here. My friend painted him. The picture of him. He is no longer with us, but fantastic song. Really badass album. It's one of his solo albums, but yeah, that song really gets you right in the grapes.
Yeah, you mentioned that one on a previous podcast, and I looked it up, and that shit was dope.
Yeah, dude. I use it. I mean, that's if we're talking, songs that hit you in the feels. That one definitely is there.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. So that was 3 of them. I'm on number 2. It doesn't really make me. It's not really sad or make me like feel emotional. Just the song itself is beautiful, and I just like the way the sound like the band develops the sound. It's called "Evilest Number" by the Expanders. It's just kind of a mellow reggae jam, but just the harmonies in it. It's not like so much that it's like emotional, but just like the sound is so pure that it just kind of it gets you right in the gut.
Yeah. Reggae always does that. I mean,
yeah. And number 1, this is because of everything that I've had going on in my life with my parents and everything. So it kind of means a lot to me, and it just like really, if you want to get fucking sad, this is it. It's technically by No Effects, but the album is Cokie the Clown. It's Fat Mike's side deal. He did like one album where he dressed up like this like deranged clown.
Yeah.
The song is called My Orphan Year, and it is sad as fuck. If you really want to get into your feels, that's the song you should go to, because
I can't hear it in my head.
It's the last song on the Cokie the Clown EP, and it's pretty brutal.
I liked watching him on the other F Word.
Mm-hmm.
It was I had no idea what it was. I kind of didn't watch it because I didn't know what it was, and then I took time to read it, and I was like, oh shit, this be fun.
Yeah, that's a great movie. I didn't know what it was either, and I'm like, oh, it's got Fat Mike and Lars Fredrickson, and and everything. Like that's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like all these old school punk guys. Okay, it was kind of like a documentary into them getting old and being dads now, and all the things that they did, and their kids are kind of asking them, about it, and and how they deal with it, and they're like dropping them off at school. Fat Mike's in like this leopard robe or some shit, dropping them off at school, just looking like a creepy pedophile or some shit,
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
they had like Lars Fredrickson taking his kid to the park, and he's got like bondage pants on and like a sleeveless vest, tattoos everywhere, multicolored hair, and he's like, yeah, when he's like I do get weird looks, but like every time I take my kid to the park, people start to leave, so we kind of get the park to ourselves. That's kind of fun.
benefit to it.
But yeah, that's my list there.
That's your list. Let's I think it's what we're down to Bryce, Casey, and myself, and you, right? Diction, right?
Yep.
See how it goes.
Dick for short. Yeah. Yeah. That's if you get the joke, you get the joke.
Yeah.
Mine is.
I bet we're gonna get a double somewhere up in here.
I think you're gonna be Tony.
Oh.
Maybe it knows.
No. Believe it or not, I don't have any metal in my life. Like, it's weird for me, actually. Number 5, I guess, is the closest thing to metal I have on there. It's Sleep Apnea by Chevelle. And I don't know why. There's it's the song itself, if you've never heard it, it's very much people underestimating you, basically, and you being able to look past that and just overcome. So I like songs like that, about uplifting things, about human like righteousness and being able to overcome things, because in all fairness, that's one of our baser needs, and not even needs, but just like core things of being a human is having hope for anything. Hope.
That's off your second drop, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
I don't have anything against Chevelle. I liked,
I really am not
they
a fan
kind
of
of
Chevelle,
blurred
but
with
there are
all the
songs
other
that they
bands, and it was at a time where I was trying to break away from radio music, so
I did the same.
I don't know much about Chevelle.
That and RX was like the last songs that I fucked with real heavy.
Yeah, honestly, yet again, you know me, Josh. I'm a metalhead, man. Dude. Like, so, like, me admitting that I like a Chevelle song, it's fucking hard.
No. Yeah.
So,
I'm curious to hear no metal songs on here. I'm like, that does shock me.
no, I'm right. Damn right. So, like, all of us are around like the same age. So, like, around like our 40s or late 30s, whatever. So we're all technically millennials, technically. So, unfortunately, especially, and I know Josh, like, mental illness is a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, like bipolar, depression, ADD, fucking whatever else you get, and especially with men nowadays, man, that's fucking. It's real hard thing. Especially dudes have a hard time talking about it, because when people look at you and be like, "I got issues," and you're like, "I do too, man. Fucking man up." And that's usually where you sit it at.
Yeah.
So, like, I have those songs that I've listened to where I'm just like, man, it's time to end it. Just clock out. And then there's the ones you listen to and it kind of gives you a better clarity. And one of those for me was when I was a teenager and I was real bad. It was Adam's song by Blink-182.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Where he's talking about his best friend doing the exact same thing, and somehow like that song just so resonated with me, and I was just like, yeah, no. Obviously, I got other things like now where I don't have those like invasive, intrusive thoughts as much anymore, but like it's still there, dude.
Yeah,
like so little things like that.
Listen to him to curb it, because I think everybody does. I mean, if you didn't say, I think anybody that says, "Oh, I never think about it," I think they're full of fucking shit and liars, because it's, one, it's an option, so everybody thinks about it. And I listen to Adam's song a lot, probably a lot more than, I should admit, but I listen to
ditto, repeat, fucking tears streaming out of my eyes the whole time.
But, you know, to me, I kind of take away from it is I'm not the only one who feels like this, and you know, I mean, none of the musicians that you know I listen to, I mean, have done it. So it's you know kind of like maybe you know I mean get it out, get it out, create something beautiful with it. Like Tech Nine, Suicide Letters, Suicide Notes 1 and 2.
And it's a very real thing, especially and not discrediting like mental health for women, but you know like especially men's mental health. 78% of the suicides in the entire world are all done by men. Like
yeah, but man up, you're a man, right?
Yeah,
man up, bro.
Yeah,
man the fuck up.
We're here. Our generation is here to break that cycle, so our kids don't have to fucking go through. Not that I have kids, but so our kids don't have to go through the anguish that we went through.
No,
we're
absolutely.
Here to talk, communicate.
Absolutely, and get that shit done. But then, like, obviously, like fucking Nickelodeon didn't help my ass, man. So, so no, that was number 4. Number 3, Hopeless Romantic. I love Elton John. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Your Song by Elton John. That is definitely like I will fucking like hold love letters from teenage girlfriends while singing that song because I love that fucking dance so much. And it was so well written. Bert did such a good job on it, and Elton himself is just amazing. So I love that song. And then my last 2 songs are by the same band because I love the band and like I love punk music too. And for some reason, these guys like I could list off like a million songs by this band, and I love every single one of them in its own right. But Rise Against is just retarded good, no matter what. So my number 2 is People Live Here. It's in one of their more acoustic songs, and you know, again, it's one of those about like hope and humanity, and kind of like you said. There's a line in there. It says, "When we're all just ghosts and." The chaos takes us, we'll look to the sky and say that people live here. So things like those lines, and Tim McKelrath is really, really good writer in my opinion. So I love lines like that within music that like can resonate to your own being and your own sense of hope and just like human like perseverance for the most part. And Rise Against is really good about doing that. So with that being said, number 1 I have is Swing Life Away.
I had a feeling you were going to go there.
Yeah, I love Swing Life Away. I listen to that song, and it reminds me of my little sister all the time, and I love her, and I don't get to see her as much as we used to. And so, yeah, no, that's my number 1 right there. But
not to cut you short, but I think these guys have got some recording to do. Always.
Hands on him. More often than you do.
All the damn time.
You want to take my turn? I mean, you guys gonna have to jet or?
I can blaze through mine, but he knows we're coming a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm long-winded.
All right, we're good.
We all are. This is a good time.
Yeah. Like I said, I like how everybody went to the sad. You know, cut you deep. That there's nothing that doesn't say sad.
But I don't necessarily think all mine were sad, though. I think some of mine were just more that I get a nice.
Oh, he's running away. I'm going to ask you a question. He goes running away, but
all right.
I don't know.
I got my speaker on.
Okay. Were you intending sad? I mean, because you kind of came up with that topic.
Not really. I mean, kind of, but I think it was just the ones that when you hear it, it has a true meaning to you. It doesn't have to be sad. I think I meant was
feels doesn't have to be sad. I mean, there's happy.
It's not always sad. Most of mine are too, but I think the way I intended it was one that when you hear it, it has a meaning to you, maybe different than somebody else, or one that when it comes on, you just can't not listen to it.
Yeah. So my honorable mention in this one, just because I kind of took some of them literal. So Colorado Kool-Aid, the line where he cuts the guy's ear off, that's my honorable mention.
Okay.
Songs with cut. Okay, so my number 5 was more of a sad one. Love Don't Live Here Anymore by Rose Royce.
That's a good one.
No, it's like old school Motown.
Yeah.
Love don't live here anymore. I'm not gonna sing it, but yeah, that one. Yeah, didn't have it on the list, and I was going through shit this morning, listening to music while I was cleaning the house, and that popped on. I'm like, it doesn't have a cut related, but she, the dude cut her off, so there's my tie to cut. My number 4 isn't kind of the Suicide Bullet by Hollywood Undead. I don't know if anybody's listened to that one, but that's kind of that one I listen to a lot. It's funny, poppy, stupid. And he's,
No, but I like Hollywood Undead. A lot of people get.
Making fun of it, making light of it, and I think, to me, that's I listen to him and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm good, I'm not gonna go do that, but it's. I grew up in an era that we could joke about it, it doesn't. It's not funny, but.
Yeah.
That's how we got through it, back to that old mentality.
You're not supposed to joke about, or what you're supposed to joke about.
Do what?
The things that you're not supposed to joke about are the things that you're supposed to joke about.
Exactly.
That's why comedy should never be fucking limited or censored.
That was always a weird.
Richard Pryor, all the best ones would have sucked in this day and age.
Oh, man. There'd be no legends.
Yeah.
Comedy's made to be where it is.
But it's sad is like our generation is seen as like one of the most offensive on the planet right now. But what no one realizes is that our generation is the one that's making all the entertainment content right now too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just dead souls.
And that's a whole podcast on its own, huh?
Yeah. Another one of those where we eat shrooms and just start talking, bro.
Yeah. My number 3 is God's Gonna Cut You Down. Either version.
My God, that one's
Take
so
that
good.
off my list, bastard.
Yeah, either version. Marilyn Manson's cover is just as profound as Johnny Cash's.
How late is that
Mm-hmm.
career? That's like 7th studio album.
That wasn't. It was more recent. Yeah. I don't know which one.
High End of Low, I think.
Yeah. My number 2 is Possessed by Paul James, Color of My Bloody Nose. Again, Sue, I think it was suicidal. I don't think he cut her. But there's Razor. There's a lot, the story of the song is like an ex is committing suicide and he's watching it and he's just kind of like, yeah. Hey, you fucked me over, I'm going to let you die. And then number 1 is Cut You In, Jerry Cantrell. Great song.
That's a good fucking song.
Fair Weather Friends. And I've always loved Alice in Chains. And Jerry was obviously a driving force in that. So his solo albums are just as, good to me as the Alice in Chains. It's like, carry on.
From your list, I learned that you are a literal person.
I knew everybody was gonna go sad.
And
I went with the cut theme. Yeah. So I guess we got. I've never been a cutter, but I've never cut.
What? Really?
No, not purposely, accidentally a lot.
Oh yeah, no. All right, I gotta jump off here. My dogs are dying to go outside.
Okay, man.
All right, you have a good night, guys.
Appreciate you.
Later.
We did not get one double on this thing today. Usually we get like 100 doubles. All right, Casey.
Well, mine's going to be the most mainstream music because, and all of mine have a meaning or a reason why, and we don't go all into it. But number 5, and it's my only country song. It's really the only one I don't know, but Live Life Like You're Dying. That came out the year my grandpa got diagnosed with cancer, and he was one of the greatest dudes in my life.
Yeah.
So that was one that every time I hear it to this day.
Yeah, that would make me cry too.
No, my number 4, Bob Dylan, Knock on Heaven's Door. Same thing that was played at my dad's funeral. That was one of our, just songs we liked. And that was just one that, same thing. My number 3, Slipknot, Till We Die. That was kind of one that got me through some rough years, even though it's a little different. If you go back and read the lyrics to it, you can't always hear them in a Slipknot song. But if you go back, it's one that just, a metal song kind of that hits deep.
Yeah. I was always good for that.
Mm-hmm.
my number 2, and this is one that's probably the obscure one, but my kid was going through school and was getting picked on and stuff. So there's Grace Vanderwall, You Don't Know My Name. That's a song.
That one is so
literally
good.
makes me cry to hear it. And it's just a little girl singing a song with ukulele.
Is that she was on like America's Got Talent? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't know why I'm a Dido fan. I mean, I listen to rap, rocks, heavy metal, whatever, but there's a bunch of that stuff. So I even had a Dido when I took off just to not get made fun of. And then my number 1 is Harry Chapin, Cats in the Cradle, kind of the same thing. That was something me and my brother listened to when my dad had moved out and my parents went through a divorce and I was a young kid, but that was something that was kind of like you just kept hoping, you waiting for your dad to come home. So that's one even to this day, like it just gets me deep, and it's like made me be a better dad because of that song. So those are my
I almost
5.
wrote that one down.
And then I got some honorable mention. Puff Daddy, I'll Be Missing You, man. We all went through some tough times in those years. Was one that really kind of hit hard with me. And then Semisonic, Closing
West
Time.
Side, fuck Biggie. Fuck all the way.
Well, I'm with you, man. But man, I liked Biggie back then too. So, but like Semisonic, Closing Time was just that thing. I had an alcoholic dad and grandpa at certain points, and it was just kind of that song, even though it doesn't really mean that, just kind of hit home. So those are mine.
Good list. All right, no need to spin.
Well, shit, that leaves me, huh?
Yeah. Saving the best for last, apparently.
Well, crazy. Mine is all over the place. I've had time to think about it. I actually didn't even know I was going to be in town for this until right before. So Tone told me last minute. So I've been kind of gathering, kind of as we've been
so it worked
talking.
out.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. I got to start with honorable mentions. Swan Dive by Head PE. It's nothing could be better than a swan dive into the asphalt. And the thing is like it's just like you don't even have to feel like that, but it's like you can get it out. You can just like you listen to it and it's like, all right, cool. Well, I feel better. Somebody said it. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna do it, but somebody said it. And Laid to Rest by Lamb of God. Like if everything's going wrong in my world, I can put that on full blast in my car. I can lean back in my car and just tear up, and I don't know why. It's just one of those things. It just hits deep, It is what it is. But for sure, my top 5 are Private Malone by David Ball. It's a country song. Heard it when I was a kid,
Yes. Is that about
you guys
the car?
might know.
Riding in the back, the ghost, and he buys the car.
Yes.
He buys the car. The guy died at war. He got it for cheap, and he felt like an asshole for even getting it for cheap. And somebody could have swore they saw a soldier pulling him out of the wreck. And it literally makes me cry still to this day. My First Day by Haystack. I'm not even like a big Haystack fan. We've performed with him, which was cool and stuff, but he hasn't really influenced me a bunch or anything like that. But this song hit so hard because my mom is and was an addict or whatever, and it's like about just waking up and being without it and going through the sickness and the getting better and learning and all that, and it's a big deal, which kind of leads into my next one, which is Smile by Idea. Idea is really, really not very well known. He was a young man on Rhymesayers, which is like Atmosphere, and if you know Atmosphere, look, Idea. Mm-hmm. So it's big. Man. It's I'll Still Smile. He actually he overdosed and he died, but he was doing what he loved, and his brain was too much for him to take, and that was one of those songs that he really just let it out, and it makes me tear up. As long as we're on the suicide thing, Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park. I've had my struggles with addiction too, and shit definitely just hits home for sure. And if I'm going for my last one, and I don't have these in any order really, but it's actually one of Tone's songs. I bet you can guess.
Broken Wings, maybe?
Yep, Broken Wings. Because literally nobody knows what you go through. But at the end of the day, your wings are still there, man. Like, even if they're broken, you can still fly. Yeah. It is what it is.
That's a good segue. You guys, what do you guys got going on? Take a few minutes to plug some shit you guys got going on.
I got myself in my feels. That's what I got.
Did he have me in my feels all week?
It's my fault, man. It was the last minute. I don't listen to no new music.
Listen to all these songs.
Yeah, for real.
Get to know each of y'all better.
I mean, mine's not,
Honestly, what we got going on is
we just
I don't
slowed
know.
down a little bit, other than drops.
Are we gonna?
Yeah,
I mean,
what was Glow? Was that it? Or-
So we were just
go your own way.
Yeah.
Oh, drops.
Yeah.
Go Your Own Way. That
Yeah.
was a new single. So we drop new music every Friday since the beginning of 2022.
Every single Friday from beginning of
Yeah.
2022, January 1st Friday, and we've been doing it ever since.
It's
kind of hard to keep up
unconscious
sometimes.
collective, right?
Collective Unconscious.
Collective
yes.
unconscious.
And it's kind of just kept us accountable as artists, and like no matter what, like we're working on our craft, we're working on what we love. So whether that be comedy, whether that be podcasts, whether that be life counseling. I heard someone mention earlier, it's something I've been looking into too. And that's kind of like what we are as a group. We best form I can explain it to is like a self-help in the form of hip hop. That's kind of that's what we do.
Yeah, man.
It's it, and we also
a lot of good positive music.
We're not going to be boxed into hip hop either. It's really just we're going to be free form as all get out. We have something coming up that we haven't told anybody about. Our last drop was a surprise. We dropped on Valentine's Day. We dropped Fall in February, which was half fall vibe and half either heartbroken or lovey-dovey vibe, and it worked out really well. And we got something coming this summer too.
Awesome.
Yeah. In July, we'll have a new album coming in July, and
you guys are the only ones that know it.
Yeah.
We have not told anybody.
Danny, you got some shows coming up, don't you?
I do. I have 2 this month. I have one on the 17th at the Hideout, which is Aaron Underwood's new place.
Yeah.
Find out.
And that is It Kills You from Oklahoma City, and then we have Carving Canyons from Emporia, and we have Ramona Clay from Kansas City. So that's going to be a cool, not quite local show.
Yeah.
And then June 29th, it's a Thursday. So get your asses out to Barleycorn on a Thursday. I've got the ongoing concept, Bloodlines and Lightworker, and then local support from Given and Anthropox.
Nice.
So that's going to be a kick-ass show.
And Dark Raven Productions, right? On the Facebook
Yep. Dark Raven Promotions.
Okay.
On Facebook, I've got a website. I've got, So.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then Mr. Coach Casey, you can find him typically Mondays you do live, right?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, kind of depends what happens. The goal is Mondays. We're back. We are this Monday. We'll be live. I'll have my co-host back in studio. TJ will be in here, hopefully sitting back here. This perch is for my other third host, Skin Man. Hopefully he's in studio as well. And we're you can find us anywhere. You can find the show basically everywhere that podcasts are available. We do some Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. The Middle of the Road podcast. If you guys ever want to take a listen, man, it's something different every week. Make fun of everybody equally. Make fun of myself a lot. Self-deprivating, to say the least.
Hey, we can come on and do making fun of Juggalos one.
Do
I'll bring a Juggalo too. He's the
Before
home.
we leave this, I took a job at 16 at this place here locally. It used to be called Silver Dollar Cafe. And one of the guys that I washed dishes with made me, he didn't have a car. He'd had like 70 UIs. He was like 35. And I had to go pick him up every single morning or every day for work and drop him off. So that was the rule. He would give me $10 for gas every day, but we had to listen to fucking ICP. And that was also part of the reason I went to that concert, the only one I went to. And I had a little phase where I don't want to say into him, but obviously I listened to him for 45 minutes a day, every day for a while in a drive. But that was kind of where my ICP thing came. And then I'm a kind of an old school wrestling fan. And once they got into wrestling, they were kind of funny there. But no, it's been probably 10 years since I've listened to an ICP song at this point.
I recently rediscovered my old CD case from high school, and was going through it and found my ICP CD, and I stuck it in just for shits and giggles because
Did you just take that?
Probably a decade since I listened to it. I got through like the first 3 songs, and then I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Totally great when you're 15, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Once I hit about 22, 23, I started going, well, maybe I
should make better life choices here.
Why are you hiding under my bed?
Joshua Ricks coming in late to the show, but I highly encourage you to go back and watch it. We had some great music. We're about ready to wrap it up as soon as Mr. Alex Adape tells us what he's got going on.
Not a whole lot. I know I've got at the end of the month. I'm doing. I'm traveling across the state of Kansas, which I don't know why I am, but I'm doing it. I'm going to run to MC and do some comedy for the guys at El Trevino in Elkhart, Kansas.
Yeah.
Hopefully they think they know about jokes out there because it's in the middle of nowhere.
I was gonna say Elkhart, be careful, bud.
Yeah, shit.
Well, I gotta say that's some really good music, and I mean, like I said, we had Derek on. He came on, right? Yeah, he came on. And man, I mean, I didn't know he was that badass.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Really cool guy.
He's badass.
Take the Trump jokes out of your whatever you had going there. Take them out, and then you'll nail it.
I'm gonna leave him. I'm gonna leave him in.
Krusty the Clown.
Yeah. And then I've got the next night we're gonna do the same, basically the same show in Garden City, Kansas, and then I'm headed back up to KC. And then I don't think I'm gonna go back to Southwest Kansas for the rest of my life. You know?
Well, I did forget right now Monday, we do have an exclusive interview with Donald Trump on our show, so if you want to tune in for that. We're going to have him stopping by. My co-host will interview him. His number one rule was I could not be in the studio during the interview. So
It'll be really great. It'll be the greatest show. It'll be the greatest podcast.
It'll be so great. It'll be the greatest show ever.
Nobody will be able to keep up with
will
this.
be listening.
If they were going to take a vote, we would win.
All right, before we get off here, we forgot to do our formalities. Huge shout out to Talking Beards Network and Big Sexy Beard Brand, letting us broadcast on their platforms and their StreamYard. That's pretty awesome. And as always, I can save you 20% with Big Sexy Beard Brand. Use the code JRB520. Sexpot is the greatest scent in the world. I would do that. And you can find this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, a few other places. I want to see how to get the tomorrow's podcast on the Spotify, the video. So you post the last one on the video, and I think with the red circle, I think I just got to upgrade and from the free to the $30 thing. So you get a whole bunch of different analytics, and I think they may push it a little bit more. I don't know, but I think that's where I'm at with it.
Excellent.
Make Kevin pay $30 a month.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to join you guys for a podcast.
It was very fun.
Thanks for coming
Nice to
on.
meet y'all.
Yeah. Good to meet you guys.
We'll be back for episode 22. We'll figure out what we're gonna do and who all is gonna be here.
It's mushrooms, and I think it's all of us.
I'll be on all that.
Count me in for that show, man.
4 hours later.
We're gonna set up a kiddie pool over there for Alex.
Building a couch.
Just make sure I don't go in any random.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take care.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I need to use your restroom.